You're live.
Now, did you hit go live?
You're live.
Okay, let me just make sure that we've got what it looks like, because I want to make sure last week I didn't have the whole. You can see if you can bring this in a little bit more and make,
You talking about zooming? Or?
yeah, zoom it so that the screen is bigger and you can see it at home, so you can't see that. See, and the zoom, where's the zoom? Let's see, it's up here.
No, it was-
Whoops.
It was a
Whoop,
little,
whoop, whoop, whoop.
it was a little,
That ought to do it right there.
a digital thing, yeah. Okay. Yeah, that
Let's
should do
try
it. That should do it.
Let's try it. Okay.
That was so much zoom that when she smiled, you can see her go too. She'll let me go too.
Okay. This is Hebrew 1. It is November 6th. And I apologize, anybody at home. I must have dropped my black marker. And the one that showed up the most was the blue. So I pray that you can see it at home. If you can't, get your book and go along with us. All right, the first thing that we need to do is pray. Would you like to pray for us, Shanti? Wait a minute, use this. We got to get used to using that.
Heavenly Father, we thank you for making it here safely, Lord, to start this lesson. And Father, we pray that during this lesson that you will help open up our understanding, help us to retain the information that we learn, Lord. We thank you so much for Judy teaching us and taking the time out, Lord. We thank you for blessing her to become the teacher that she's asked you for her to be, Lord. And we just give this time to you for honoring you and fellowship and study. And thank you in Yeshua's name, amen.
Amen. And just leave it there, and when we need it, you can pick it up. Okay, I wanted to review. Last time we had finished 3 and had started looking at 4, chapter 4, but I think we have covered so much, I would like to review quite a bit before we get into the book, okay? And I might just need to carry this because I'm not going to sit there. Okay. All right, everybody, what is this? Shin. Bet. Tav. Lamed. Mem. Mem Safit. Hey. Resh. Nun. Nun Safit. Aleph. Ayin. Okay, very good. So, you're almost, you're quite far through the alphabet, and you don't have very many vowels left. Okay, what vowel is this? Patak. What is this? Kametz, kamats. Okay, what is this? Yes, a cholam hasher. What is this? Cholam malay. What is this? Sagol. 2 little dots beside each other? Zeri. I hope I'm saying it right. And what is this? Zeriyod. And the infamous Shabbat. Okay, that's got all the rules. These are the roots that we have so far, okay? All right, the Shin, Bet, Tav, even though it doesn't have a dagesh in it, when you're reading it, you say Shin, Bet, Tav. That's the first root that we did. And so what does that mean? Rest, cease. Nope, not complete. You're on the wrong one, but they must have stuck together. Yeah. Okay. My cards stick together too. All right, Ashin, Lamed, Mem, Safit is the next root that we have. So now, what does that root mean? Complete wholeness. complete and wholeness. Now, if you had the actual word, shalom, with everything, that would mean peace or complete or whole. But usually just the root says complete or whole, okay? Now, the shin, the mem, and the resh, I always say shamar to help me remember that. So, what does this mean? Somebody please.
I'm cheating.
Yeah, well go ahead,
Go
huh?
ahead. He said,
What?
the guard.
To guard, to keep. We need to pass that around so they can hear.
The guard.
Yeah, to guard, to keep, and it can be permit, okay? No, guard and keep, I think you're right there. I'm getting mixed up on myself. All right, now this is, natain is what helps me with this, and what does this root mean? Here. What am I doing? Give.
Okay.
Okay, this is give, grant, permit. Okay? Attain, give, grant, permit. Now here are the words that y'all have learned so far. Shabbat, which is our Shabbat, our day of rest. Shalom, which is a wonderful thing to say to people because you're giving them your peace and you want them to have everything. Torah. The instructions of how to be a Christian is what this is. Shem, I'm messing up now. Shem means what? Name. And Shema. Yeah, this is to hear and listen and obey. Yeah, you got it. Okay? So, let me see. Now the thing that let me go through some of these real quick, because I still think this is helpful. At home, do them as fast as you can do them. I'm going to knock this thing down if I don't get it out of my way. There we go. Okay. All right. So, what is this? It's a go. And what sound does it make? Eh. I'm dropping them. That's all right. I'll get it. Yeah, get the
Ziri.
Ziri. I'll get it, darling. Ugh. Trying to hold too many things. All right. Pizza. I have to do that to help get the Z right. Ziri. Ziri. And what does a Ziri sound like?
A is in play.
A is in play. Yep. Cholam Hasher. Hold the mic so that people can.
Cholam Hasher.
Yep. And what is the sound it makes?
Oh.
Oh my goodness. Okay, here's another one.
Oh, it's not my turn. I told you,
Is a
don't call on me.
Cholam Malay.
Cholam Malay, and it makes what sound?
Oh.
Oh, very good. Okay. Kamatz. This book calls it a kamatz. So, what noise does it make? What sound? Noise. Sound.
Kamatz makes ah.
It makes an ah. Now, it can be, in some instances, it can make an O sound, but you will learn that later, okay? But for right now, if you see this, you'll say ah, okay? Now, what's that?
Patak.
Patak. Patak. And it makes what sound? Ah. Do you know what that is? You know, like when I come in, you know, I'm from North Carolina. It's a hey, hey, hey. You just think about me waving. Hey,
Okay, hey.
that's a hey. Okay, and it makes a hey, an H sound. Okay, what is that? Y'all.
Go ahead.
Rich?
Resh, and it makes a what sound? Oh, yeah. Oh. Yeah, you can. Tav, tav. Now, some places they say it makes a S sound, but it's a tav. It makes a T sound for what we're doing right now. Okay, it's a tav. It makes a T sound. That, even though it's got a dagesh in it, is a tav also, and it has a T sound. Okay, it's got a dagesh in it for a reason. We'll learn that later, but both of these are pronounced right now as a T sound. Okay.
Lamed.
Lamed, and what sound does it make? L.
Mem.
A mem. So if it's a mem, what sound does it make? Good. Good. Now this is a
Memsophi?
memsophet, and it again has that sound, right? Okay, what is this?
Bet.
Bet. Bet. And it has what sound?
Ba.
Ba. All right, now this
It's a she.
is a shin. Yeah, shin, chin, 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 shin. I'm Southern. I'm not sure if I say it right, shin. So anyway, yeah, but what sound does it make? Shh, shh, shh. Now this can get confusing, but this, if somebody asked you this, it'd be shin, bet, tav. But if you were pronouncing a word that didn't have a dagesh in it, you would pronounce it as a b. It's a bet. Instead of a b, it would be a v. There's my blue dot. I need my blue dot back.
It's a bet. If it doesn't have a dot, it's a
If it's got a dot, it is a bet.
okay.
That dot is a dagesh. The dot is a dagesh. If it has a dagesh, it is a bot. If it doesn't have a dagesh, it's a bet, and it has a sound of b, b, b. Okay. Now this is the other. This is not the shin. This is. Which one's this one? I just put it in here. We haven't had it yet because the other one's there. It's the sin. It's got an S sound. So the dot, if the dot was over here and not here, it'd be a sin. If it's over here, it's a shin, if I'm saying it correctly,
If
y'all.
you get your dot in the wrong place, it's a sin.
You could remember it that way.
So it's on the left, it's a sin?
If it's on the left, it's a sin. If it's on the right, it's a
It's on the left.
yeah. So right is good, left is whatever you can do to help remember them, that's fine. You know, I was telling him that I used to make all kinds of little riddles and jokes and stuff trying to remember all this stuff. But it helps. When you find something to help you remember it, use it. Okay? All right, I want to do a review of what was to me is a bear in the room, the big bear, and it's called the Shavah, and it has rules, and it's got rules with exceptions, and sometimes it seems like exceptions to exceptions. I don't know. Hebrew has a lot of exceptions. You know, rarely do you hear something say that it's always. It's this way this time and this way another time. Okay, that is the Shabbat. Now, do you remember when this is vocal? Okay, let's just review. At the beginning of a word. Yep, okay. So, let me see if I put a word in. I didn't. I should have wrote one in here. Let me turn my book to some examples. I'm not good at recalling examples. Let me get back here.
Page 31.
Yeah, I got it right there. Thank you. Hey, thank you. Okay. So, for example, at the beginning, so at the beginning of a word, that would be pronounced, and that would be lama. Lama, okay? It doesn't matter what, unless it is a guttural. Do you remember what the gutturals are? It's the aleph, the ayin, the hey, the het, and sometimes resh. But these are the gutturals. They can't take these can't take it. These are silent. They cannot take. Those cannot take a Shabbat because they're silent. Now, a hey you could, but put a Shabbat in there, and het, but and resh. But these two here, since they're silent, you'll never. This is something you will never see it like that. Okay, two silents don't make it right, you know. So those are the gutturals. Okay, now this is at the beginning. So at the beginning, it's vocal. That's the first rule. If it's at the beginning, it's vocal. What about if it's at the end?
It's silent.
It's silent. That's right. For grammar. For grammar. It is for grammar. Yeah, but it's all for grammar. Okay, now, in the middle of a word. Look there where it says on page 31, it says, when two Shabbat vowels, where it says in the middle of the word, when two Shabbat vowels appear side by side in the middle of a word, the first Shabbat vowel is silent. And then the second is pronounced with a short sound, like that, like an almost. And it's like the vowel, it's just like how you do it at the beginning. That'd be like la. It's just like a afterthought of the lamed. It's la, ma. And if it was here, that would be the ma, and that's silent. Or if you had, let's see, I can't think of, we're just going to make up some words now because it doesn't really matter. This might be interesting since I'm just making it up. This is in the middle of a word, and let's see, what else could I put in there? Let's put a tit, yeah, a tav, and which one put on the end of it? Nunsafit. Okay. Whoops, that's a little bit long. That looks too long. Nunsafit's short mark. Let's see if I could say that. La Mosh Not. Well, no, that one would have to have, you would have to have a, some kind of vowel in here for that one.
Okay.
Let's see, not, oh, this one, we could do it here. We could put a vowel here. Let's do it that way. So that'd be la mosh, because that's silent. So you're putting these together. La mosh na. Natan. Natan. I'm sorry, Natan. La mosh Natan. That's how you pronounce whatever that is. We just made it up, but it doesn't matter. Do you see? The first one is silent. The second one would be vocal.
Just so you don't bite anybody.
Right, don't write it in that. Okay. So now this is the other, now sometimes it will be in the middle of a word. That's a long vowel. I better not. Okay, sometimes in the middle of the word it is pronounced, but for right now, we won't go there. In our book, if you see it in the middle of the word, it's going to be 99% of the time it's going to be silent. If it's in the middle by itself, a single one, if you've got two side by side, the first is silent. Am I doing that right? And the second is vocal. Okay? Now if you have one, if you just have one in the middle of the word, for right now it's going to be silent. Okay? Now this will be on the test, so you need to know this. So the Shabbat at the end of a word will be silent. At the beginning of the word it's vocal. At the end of a word it's silent. If they're side by side, the first one's silent, the second one's vocal. And if it's in the middle of a word, it's silent for right now. Okay? Now, let's go to, did y'all try to read these at home on page 32? You did? Did you have you want to do any practice with them now? Do you feel like y'all, we were supposed to practice reading this right here. Let me take one G, because it's got longer words. Let me just say that. Or la, or lot, or la, or lot, or loat. I said it wrong. Or wrote. I'm sorry. Or wrote. And or loat. Now that's or. The first syllable would be. Oh no, I've got it wrong. But it has to be or la. Or loat, or la. I'm not sure why they got the ayin in there, to be honest. For me, I don't know why. On G, that the ayin at the beginning of it, it'd be oh, but see the resh has a shavah and it's normally silent. So it'd be or la. Then the next word on G would be or lot. The next one would be or la, or ra, or ra, and then or roach, and or lo. I'm not quite sure why they got the ayin in there, but it just must have been an exercise.
Well, with the middle word, you're using the exception at the top of the page.
Yes. Look at the top of the page. I had that marked. And I've got. Excuse me. At the top of the page, there is one exception worth noting here in the general statement given above, talking about that the middle, if a shavah is in the middle of the word, that it's silent. It says if a vowel appears in the middle of a word under a letter that is immediately followed by the same letter, the shavah vowel has a short sound to enable the pronunciation of both letters. That is, if they have the same letters. So that would, I see that third word, you're right. And so that would be bola, bolalo, and bolo are the examples right there. And it says a short vowel sound is inserted after the first lamed to enable the pronunciation of the two lamed sounds. Because they don't sound the same, do they? Bolalo and bolo, it's got two different sounds, right? So just practice. Chris, say that first word there and meet that example. The sheen, the holomalay, and the two lamets.
Okay.
Read it.
But it's next to the line separated?
Yes.
So that's show, la la.
Yep. Okay.
Show la.
Sholala. Do you want to try one? I'm having a hard time with mine. Try the next one there.
Ro, ma, mo.
Yep.
Oh.
Romamo. Okay, you try one. Here. Now, I don't know if you were in here whenever we were talking about dividing up the, and I'm sorry, I don't have,
Sheen, a, top. Sha,
yeah, Shun.
shaha, top. Shaheta. Sha.
All right, what's easy to do to help you get the words is, have you got a pencil? Do you mind if I mark in there with the ink? Okay, so that would be one syllable. That would be a syllable. And then that would be a syllable, okay? So does that help you?
You don't pronounce this one.
Yes, you do, because it's got, the reason it's pronounced is because it's got two tops.
Mm-hmm.
And to get the sound of the top, you almost have to make the sound. So that is
Shita,
chata,
shitahe,
chatata.
shitatahe,
Well, you don't have to say the hey,
because it's at the end.
it's at the end.
Shitata,
Chatata,
shatata.
because the accent is on this word, on this letter. Okay, very good. But whenever you're pronouncing, if you'll go through and divide up the syllables, it'll be a whole lot easier when you're pronouncing them. Okay, so the next one then, Chris.
So that's a shin, it's show. And there's a shavah in the middle, so that's, it's not silent because there's two consecutive words, so that's shomamot.
Shemamot. Shemamot. Yep. Okay. Do the next one for us.
Lo, la. Mo, mo, la,
Yep,
right?
mo-la-la, mo-la-la. Okay, so now if we go back, but I still don't know why they got the sheen, the aleph in the beginning of these words on G. So G, the middle word in there, would be, if you start with the third word, that'd be ora, 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 ra, ora, ra. And it would be ora, wrote. But the last one would be orlo, because it doesn't have two consonants the same side by side. See? Okay. Shema, listen or obey. We covered that earlier. And we say that every week in here when we do that. Shema Israel, right? It's at the top, the Shema, Deuteronomy 6:4 that we sing every week. Now you know what that means. Hear and listen, O Israel, Adonai, Eloheinu is our God, and Adonai Echad is Adonai is one. So hear, O Israel, the eternal, they call it the eternal one, is our God, the eternal God alone. It's just a different way of saying it. Now we brought that up, and I wrote it on the board, that the Nun Tav, Nun Safit is the next root, and that when I look at it, I try to put a word with it, notain, and I say grant or permit, because that's what it is, grant or permit. Now, because the Nun is at the end of the word, the beginning and end, the beginning has the plain Nun, and then at the end it has the Nun Safit. And then it has some words down here. Matana, Masa, Umatan, Naton, Natunim, Nitan, Natan, Yonatan. And the meanings for those. All right, did you do on page 34, did you go through there and circle the occurrences of where you saw the Nun, Tav, Nun in the word? Look at the first line there. That's Baruch, Shenatan, Torah, La'amo, Israel, Bik, Du, Chateau. So now, what word in there has the Nun, Tav, Nun in it? Shanatan. And even though it's got the shin and the sagol at the beginning, it still has the root. So this word will still have something to do with grant or permit. That's the whole thing with roots. If the root is in a word and you know what the root means, then you can sometimes figure out what the word means, you know? So the roots are very important in Hebrew. All right, now the second one, the blessing before the Torah reading. There's supposed to be two occurrences in here of the Nun, Tav, Nun. Do you see them anywhere in that two lines there?
The bottom line.
Take the mic, yeah.
The bottom line, the second word,
Mm-hmm.
and the second to the last word.
Right. The second word, do you think you could say that? Now that first one is a vav and it has a V sound. It'd be vatan, is how it'd be. Vanatan, I'm sorry, Vanatan.
Vanatan.
And then down at the end, that's next to the last one,
Tain.
notain, right. Notain is actually a word that you will learn. Okay, and the next one is just one occurrences in there, and it's a little tricky. And I don't like that one because it's too tricky, really, for early in this. It's actually the last word of the first row. Yatain, it's a variation of natain or natan. It's yatain. Even though it's missing one of the letters, it's because it has been assimilated. See that little dagesh in the top? It means that the first noon was assimilated. When it's got the yod and it's got the top, the dagesh in the top, then that means that the noon was assimilated. It was just is. Okay, did y'all practice writing the letters on page 35? Okay. Okay, let's do page 36 because it's kind of fun. Now, remember, these are supposed to be how they sound, not what they look at. The first word at the top on the left, lane. Okay, what letters on the right would make the sound of lane?
Second, the bottom.
Okay, that's a lamed, a zeri, yod, and a nun safit, and that'd be lane. Even though it doesn't have the same letters, it makes that same sound. So, all right, let's do the second one. Someone, anybody?
Knob. So it's the fourth one down.
Yes. And that would be the noon, the patak, and the bet. And since it's got a segol on the end, it'd be silent. That'd be knob. Okay, what about may? Do you want to draw lines to him so that you'll have it while we're doing them? May. Mm-mm. You might want to, so you can go back, unless you're going to sell this book, take lane and draw a line to it down to the lane next to the bottom. Okay, and then the knob, yes, it's the fourth one. And that will help you. Then when you go back and look at it, you'll see. All right, may, the first word has got the sound. So we know the first word needs to be a mem. It needs to be a mem letter to sound like may. So what's the one over there that's got the mem? The first mem. That's it. Yep, and see the zeri yod has the A sound, so that would be may. May, right. Okay. Chris, what about or?
It's gonna be at the bottom.
Yes.
The aleph, which is silent,
Yes,
and then you have the, O and the leg,
yes.
O and the resh, R, or.
Or, exactly. Very good. Chantel, you want to do 8?
8 is third one down,
Mm-hmm.
and it's the iron with Missouri that makes just like an A sound,
Mm-hmm.
and the top.
Right. So that would be 8, exactly, very good. Now, let's try the next one. I want you to try. Because this is good for you. It's just us, family, so it don't matter. Okay, so she did 4 and 8. Next one's shown. So that's what do we need?
That would be the second one.
Yes, it would be.
It
Because
would be
the shin has the sh.
shin,
Yep.
and,
There's a hole. Whether you see it or not.
on,
See the shin, that's a holum in there.
it's a O.
That's an O. Holum hashir right there. And then that's a nun safit. So shown. Very good. Okay. Note.
So that's gonna be, third one from the bottom,
Mhm.
the noon, which is,
Mm-hmm.
Olam Malay beside that, O,
Mm-hmm.
and a Tav, which is T, so that's gonna be note.
Note. Very good. Your turn. For hen.
Hen is the fourth
Mhm.
one from the bottom, and it's a hay with a segal underneath it. That makes the he
Uh-huh.
with nun sofit, so hen.
Hen. Very good. All right, let's try this on the right side. This helps you. This really does help you with learning how the sounds are. Okay, nosh. All right, so you know nosh. If it's got a n sound, then it's got to begin with a what? A noon.
Third one down.
Yes.
So that's
So that's a noon with a patak.
top, and the sheen with
Sig-
that's it.
It's with a segal.
Sego.
Mhm.
And
And so that is silent. Shabbat. I'm sorry, I said the wrong thing. It's a Shabbat. I just realized I said the wrong thing.
Shabbat, so it's a Shabbat.
I am sorry.
So the little two things are Shabbat.
Yeah, that's a Shabbat. So that's Nosh, because the Shabbats are silent. I apologize, y'all. Not sleeping. Okay. Now, where are we at? Nosh. Okay, the next one's air. Now that one might be a little bit hard, but if you got it,
So here, you look at the third one from the bottom, the ayin is silent. And then
Yes.
underneath of that is a segal, which is eh.
uh-huh,
Beside that it's a resh, so that's
Yes.
el.
air, air. Yep, air. Very good. Okay. What about aim?
For aim, I got the second one to the bottom.
Mm-hmm.
So it's an aleph, which is silent with a zeri underneath it,
Mhm.
and a min sofit.
Yes.
So the A sound and the M, aim.
Aim. Very good. All right. Toe will be yours. So toe starts with what sound?
The top,
Mm-hmm.
time.
So we need it.
So it's gonna be. It's gonna be the last one.
No, a t is a what sound? That's a T sound, right? What makes a T sound?
the top, right?
Yeah, now what does the top look like? It's hard looking upside down and seeing this. There's
Oh,
the
there's
top.
Okay,
Mhm.
okay.
There's
So
the
that's
top.
the Alf then,
Mhm.
right?
It's the
That's
top and a Holam
right.
Malay
So it is the-
and an olive.
yeah, it's the second.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead and write you a line to that, toe. So you got, for the Tav, you got the, for the Holam Malay, you got the O, and then the olive is silent, so it'd be toe.
So the olive is just there, just for grammar purposes.
Yes.
Because it can't end with a whole.
Right. Well,
Is that true?
it could, but it's there before, it is there for the grammar. If you had a word, now these are not real words,
Oh, yeah.
but if you had a word with an olive on the end, it would be for grammar. Majority of your roots are going to have 3 letters, and those 3 letters would have to be in the words, unless they are assimilated, which they can. But there are a few 2-letter roots, but I don't think you see any of those in Hebrew 1, so you don't have to worry about it. But you got 3-letter roots, and so if you had that, if this doesn't even have 3 letters, you know, that's just a sound. Okay, the next one is ebb. Who's next? Chris.
If you look at the bottom word, the aleph is silent, and then you have a segal under that, which is pronounced eh, and it's next to a bet, which has a shabbat under it, but it's at the end, so it doesn't do anything, so it's but
Ebb. Yeah, ebb, silent. Very good. All right, nay.
So nay, I got the 4th one from the bottom. And so it's noon with a zeri underneath it.
That's actually a zeri yod.
A zeri, oh sorry, zeri yod, that's right, zeri yod. So it's nay,
Mm-hmm.
and then the hay is silent.
The hay is silent. I mean, yeah, that's right. Loan. You get to do loan. It starts with what? What's L? What sound? Lamed, right?
I'm thinking this would
Yeah,
be
it's-
Lamed,
Yeah,
Lamed, and,
and that
that Lamed.
it's got that's a lamed, and then that little dagesh there up there, O, that is a holam hasher, and then that long letter is a nun safi. So that's loan. So that would match. Mhm.
the last one, no, is going to be the word that's 4th from the top. And
Yes.
it has a noon at the beginning, which has the sound.
Mhm.
And beside that is a halim share,
Mhm.
which has the O sound, so that's no. The I and the silent, it's just no.
Right, it's no. Now, did y'all practice writing these words?
I tried.
Okay, let's try it together. Let's look at A. Bone. All right, you know that the first letter would be what is that? A bet, right? So you would write a bet. What's the next sound? O sound. So you could either use a holam malay or a holam hasher. And the bone is the sound. So that would be a bet, a holam malay or a holam hasher, and a noon sofi. Okay? So that would be the two variations. You would have a bet, Holam Malay, and Nun Safit, or a bet, Holam Hasher, and Nun Safit. Now let's look at Bain. First letter would be a bet, right? Bay. So what would be this? What would be the vowel to go with that bet? Bay. What makes an A sound? Zeri. And then you've got a Bain. That's the N sound, right? Right. So it'd be a bet, Zeri, and a Nun Sofit, or it could be a bet, Zeri Yod, and a Nun Sofit. Both of those have that A sound. Now, if you go to moan, the first sound is a So what would be the first consonant you would put there? A mem. Mo. So the next sound is an O sound, right? Mo, moan, moan. So what would you put beside the mem to make the O sound? Holam Malay or Holam Hasher, either one. And then the last letter that you would put, mon, is an N, a Nun. Actually, it's on the end of the word, and so it should be a Nun Sofit. Not just a Nun, it should be a Nun Sofit. Do you see how it works? You see how it works? Do you want to do any more right now, or you want to go on to something else? Because we can. Do you think you've got it? Do you think you figured out how to do the sounds now? Why don't you do one and then we'll quit? Let's see which one we could do. Bone, moan, men. Men ought to be a D. Okay, so the M, mem. And the E, what makes the E sound? That's a vowel. Let's see, you don't have the vowel on that page, do you? Where's your vowels? Yeah, okay. You got another page with vowel sounds. Well, can you think of what makes an E sound? An E is a sagol. E is a sagol. So you would have a mem, a sagol. Yeah, sagol goes under it.
Is that 3 or 2?
3. And then, what's the other sound? Min, n. So the next letter would be a Nun Sofit. Yep, that's right, a Nun Sofit.
So just be the 2 letters?
Yep, and the Sofit goes past the line. It goes like that. Okay? Nun Sofit. It may not go that far, but it goes past the line. Okay? Let's do another one here to help you. Let's do rain. Rain. That's the resh. And ray, what makes an A sound? It won't be, it's a vowel. So a vowel is
the 2 dots?
yes, a zeri. Yep, a zeri. Or a zeriod, either one. And then the last noise, or last, I say noise, I shouldn't say that. The last sound, yeah. And so since it's the last letter, it'd be a Nun Safit. let's go back and do name, because name would be something that, this is a real word. So, well, no, it's not, sorry. Name is, what would be the first letter? None. No, it's not a non-suffix, it's just a nun, because a non-suffix comes at the end of the word. This is at the beginning, so it'd be nun, ne. And then what makes the A sound again? Zeri, the two dots, or Zeri Yod, either one of those. And then the last sound would be the Mem Suffix. Suffix, yep. Now what's going to help you is to go home and practice writing them. Have you not been able to do it in your book, the practice? I know you've had a lot going on. But these right here, when you do this, it really does help to put it in your head what it is. You just write them over and over and over, and it helps you remember what they are. Okay? Okay. Let's look at number 3, down there at the bottom. The following are Hebrew words and names that you might already know when you see them, but I don't know. You read each word aloud and connect it to the English equivalent below. All right. Moses or Moshe. Which one is Moses?
That's gonna be on the next page.
Yes, it is. They've got it divided up. They divide. I was looking. I said, "Where is it?"
So if you look in the middle of the page and the bottom line, there's one word on the bottom line at the top.
Yes.
The Mem, which is, gives you the M sound, in a shin with a Segol under it.
Mm-hmm.
So that's Moshe.
Moshe. Now, did you see that the mem doesn't? You can't really see a vowel underneath the mem, so you know then that the dagesh over the shin, that little dot on the shin, is doing double duty. It's making the Cholam Hasher and the shin. You know what? You probably ought to just write Moshe out here. I don't know why they divided it up like that. I remember doing that, must confusing me whenever I did it. Okay. All right. Leah's on the same page. Where's Leah?
Leah is the first one,
Yes.
and it's the Lamed with the Zeri underneath it.
Mm-hmm.
Then it's the Aleph,
Mm-hmm.
that's silent, has the Kametz under it,
Yes.
and then it has the Hey at the end that's silent.
Yes.
So,
Leah. Leah. Mm-hmm. Leah. Okay. Now the next one. Well, I'm in on the other page. Let's do. Where is? Tomorrow's on the other. I wish they'd put them all on one sheet. Da-da-bum-bum. What about Rosh Hashanah? You see Rosh Hashanah?
Rosh Hashanah would be the third one in the second column.
Yes. That is a Resh, a Cholam Hasher, and a Shin. So that's Rosh, and then
Rosh Hashanah.
and then yes, and then this next word is the Hey, and the Patak is Ha. Then the Shin and the Kamatz is Shah, and then there's the Na. So it's Rosh Hashanah. You know, they actually have a dagesh in the Shin, which actually makes a double letter when you write it out. Hashashana. Hashana. Sorry, Hashana. I have trouble with it too. Okay. Let's see how much time, we've got 20 minutes. On number 4, did this go out? No. Number 4, let's read the whole line. Let's start, Chris, start at A, and then we'll just go down the line and read that line.
Okay, so the first one has an aleph, which is silent, that's a limb.
Mm-hmm.
Next word, elam,
It's
alam. Oh, okay, I thought those were 2 dots now.
Yeah, it's hard to see
These
sometimes.
glasses.
Yeah.
Okay,
Alam.
third one, Allah.
Yes.
Fourth one, Ella.
Mm-hmm.
Next one, Ella.
Ale. Ale.
Ele.
Ale. Okay. And the last one.
Let's see. Alon.
Alone. You do the next word, honey.
Okay, so I am with Alan.
Alam.
Oh, Alam. Sorry.
Alam.
Alam.
Mm-hmm. But let's make sure, because I might be saying it wrong. It's got to have the accent on the second syllable, so it'd be alam.
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 Okay.
And Olam.
Right.
Ha'olam.
Ha'olam.
Ha'alam.
Ha'alam.
Me'elam.
Yes. Ne'elam.
Oh, sorry, Ne'elam.
Mm-hmm. And actually that last word, means people or nations. So it does have a meaning. And olam means eternity or forever or universe. You can use it several different ways. All right, let's do C. It's good practice. It helps you. All right, with the ayin at the beginning, that's silent, so you have one less letter to pronounce. So, now remember, the hey at the end of the word is not pronounced, so what would that be? The first one on C. It's, no, okay, that first actual sound would be a holam Malay, which is a O sound, right? O. So then you've got your noon and your kamatz, that's na, so it'd be ona. Ona. Now what would be the next one? It's kind of the same thing with a little bit of different sound underneath the noon. So what would that be? Oh, no. The sego has got an S sound, so it's one. One. Mm-hmm. It's ne. It's an S sound for the sego. One. Okay, now the next word. It's a holam Malay, a noon, a zeri, and a noon sofi. So what does the holam Malay sound make?
O.
Mm-hmm. Then the noon and the zeri, what sound does that make?
O, A.
Well, the noon makes what sound? Yeah, A zeri makes a sound. So, a, what would that sound like?
One.
Well, just about, you're getting it. Now, the last one's a noon safit, so that'd be o nain. Yeah, because you'd have the noon, the zeri, and the noon safit, so that'd be o nain. You have to get that last letter in there. All right, let's try this one. And they're sneaking this one in. You see they got two noons in there side by side, and it's got a sagol underneath the first noon. What does that mean? That you pronounce, no, you pronounce it because it's the only one in the word. You pronounce it because there are two consonants side by side. They're trying to trick you up there. So the first syllable, see the first syllable, let me see, where you at? Upside down's a little hard. That would be the first syllable. There's the second one, and there's the third syllable. So, lost my place over here. All right, so what's the first syllable sound? If the ayin is silent, and then the Holam Malay has got the what sound? The O sound. So that would be, that syllable would be O, then the noon, and the noon sounds like what? Right? So that'd be O, na. O, na. See, because you're making the sound, you have to make a sound for the N. It's O, N, na. Well, it's not noon. It's O, N, na. O, N, na. O, N, na.
It's definitely not very expertise.
No, it's not mine either. It takes a lot of practice, and as you can tell with me, I have trouble pronouncing them sometimes myself, even though I've gone through this 5 years. But you know, it's Greek almost, but it's not Greek, it's Hebrew. Now, I understand that Greek is easier than Hebrew. I don't know. I've never taken Greek, but they say it's easier. Okay, now, the next one is the, see, now my brain's going, the Aleph, the Holam Malay, the noon with the Shavah under it, then the noon and the Holam Malay. So how would you say that? Now that's got two noons, so do you vocalize that Shavah? It's two consonants side by side that are the same. No. See, now, that's what I'm saying. Now, if you had, what you're getting confused about is if you had two Shavahs, but this has only got, if it had two Shavahs side by side, two of these, then the first one would be silent and the second one would be pronounced. But this has got two consonants together and only one Shavah. So to get those two consonant sounds, you have to make that vocal. So that would be O, N, no. O, N, no. No. Isn't that weird? That's just.
That don't just sound, that don't even sound like.
Yeah, well, it's not a word. It's not a word. It's just a practice. Okay. Maybe I can try one. Let's do the next. It's just a practice so you can kind of see what it is. But see, that was the difference. If you've got, where's my marker? See, with the vocal Shavah, this side by side, if you've got, it doesn't matter what letters it is. Say it's, I'm just putting two letters. If you got a Shavah here and a Shavah here, then the first one is silent and this one is spoken. But what this other one is talking about is if you've got two letters the same two, and you only have one Shavah, then it's vocal. And that's why you get mixed up, because it's two each, but this is two Shavahs and two consonants. Okay. Let's see, where are we at? At D? Yeah.
So letter D, first word, noon is the N sound, and a zeri underneath, which is A, that's nay, and then the resh R,
It's a,
near.
yeah, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Second word, once again, the noon with the zeri underneath, nay, and then resh again, near.
No, this will be
No.
pronounced
Oh, what?
different.
Yeah, so it would be nay, nero.
Right.
And next word, noon with the holim malay,
Mm-hmm.
no,
Mm-hmm.
and then resh with amatz under it,
Mm-hmm.
ra,
No,
ra.
right. Exactly.
Next word, noon with patak, so that's na, and then resh has a shavah under it, which is in the middle, so that doesn't do anything.
Right.
So that's
Silent.
silent. So it's nar, and then the sagol nar
Nar eh. Nar, that's a, that's nar, yeah, I guess it would be nar eh.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And next word, noon with a zeri underneath again, nay, and then a resh with a olamalay.
Mm-hmm.
So nero, and then tav on the end, nerot.
Narot. That's a top, exactly. Okay, now the last word.
Last word, hey, with patak under it, so that's ha. Noon with a zeri, that's
Mhm.
nay, so that's han, hane, and then resh ra with a holomalo ro, ha, ne ro, and the t, ha ne rot.
Hanerot, yeah, Hanerot. Okay. I was looking how much longer we can do. Do another one. Yes.
Malay,
Mm-hmm.
Malay,
Mm-hmm.
Malo,
Yes.
Ma, Lay,
Mm-hmm.
Malay,
Lamalay.
Malay,
Mm-hmm.
Malay, Malay,
Yep.
Ma, Malay.
Now, this is, all right, now this Shavah in the middle of this word, is that vocal or silent?
It's silent.
It's silent. So,
It's a l. So it's
where would you break the next?
la.
The first syllable is the mem in the sago, right?
Mama la oat.
Mamal oat.
Mamal.
Oat. because you would break that syllable between the lamed and the, I'm tired, y'all, I'm sorry. The lamed and the, give me a brain, y'all. What is the aleph? The lamed and the aleph. It's a mem is one syllable. The mem, patak, and the lamed with the segol, the shavah is one syllable, mal, and then the last syllable would be ot. Ma, it'd be ma, mal, lot, ot. Ma, mal, ot. Ma, mal, ot. It's a little hard to get them separated. Let's just stop there. Y'all continue practicing reading these, okay? And at home, try to go through it. Just make sure and go through and separate the syllables so that you'll know how they sound. Make sure and practice your letters so you know what they are. And I want you to, we're getting close to where we could sing our song. The first one anyway. The song I wanted y'all to learn your alphabet. Aleph, Bet, Gimel, Dalet, Hey, Vav, Zayin, Chet, Tet, Yod, Kaf, Lamed, Min, Nun, Zamet, Kayin, Pei, Zadi, Kuf, Resh, Shin, Tav. And when you do that, it will help you see you've got a lot of them now. You know what they are. So try that at home with the Jesus Loves Me. Aleph, Bet, Gimel, Dalet, Hey, Vav, Zayin, Chet, Tet, Yod, Kaf, Lamed, Mem, Nun, Samet, Kayin, Pei, Zadi, Kuf, Resh, Shin, Tav. That'll help you get in the order of it too. All right? And we'll need to go on into, I want you to finish the reading, and if you have, and you probably want to go ahead and do some of this where you had missed it. Go ahead and look at chapter 5. So we'll come here on, what's the next 7 days? That'd be 13. Yeah. On 11:13, we would start at chapter 5 on page 39, and we'll talk about the new letters at the bottom of the page, the kaf, and then the kasafi and the het. So look through here, read through this. Look at the look-alike letters. This is where they'll get mixed up. The hey and the het looks alike. The kaf and the bet look alike. And there's actually a kaf that's got a dagesh in it. So it really does look like the bet when you put the dagesh in it. There are letters that when you're reading, sometimes they just look alike and they're hard. You need to practice. Go through this chapter and practice, and practice, and practice, and practice. The next vowel you'll have will be a sharuk and a kibbutz. Both of them have the double O sound. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Ood. Ooh. Both of them have the ooh sound. So look through this chapter, and then we'll go through it. You can look at the Gematria if you want to. Some people do things with the letters and the numbers, but you can read through that. It's interesting. So next week, I want you to finish up what you didn't do in chapter 4, and next week we'll start chapter 5. But you're really gonna have to, practice saying, get your flashcards out and just start going through them. Shin, Bet, Tav, Lama, Mem, Mem Safi, Hey, Resh, Aleph, Ayin, Nun, Nun Safi. Go through them over and over until you, just as soon as you see them, you know, or Lamet's L, a Mem is a Hey is H, a Resh is R, you know. Just keep going through them like that until you get it. And we will pick up there next time. Thank you for coming, guys.
Thank you, Judy.
I'm sorry, I'm a little bit out of it today, but thank you for coming.
Sorry.
I'm out of it every day. Yeah, when you have rules, it makes it harder,
Yes,
but you'll learn the rules.
okay.
You're very smart. All you guys are smart. You just put forth, you have to put,
She will, I think he already has.
but see, Tom, see, you gotta put forth the time is what it is. If you put the time in it, you will succeed.
Yeah, you just had.
You just gotta put the time. Yeah, you've had so much going on that I know it's tough. I tell you, I was in my first year or second year, I had several surgeries and stuff like that. They even stopped the class so that, because I was gonna be out for so long, so they picked it up afterwards, which was very nice of them. Who's gonna do a closing prayer for us?
Turn the thing off.
Dear Heavenly Father, we thank you. Heavenly Father, we thank you for this time that we spent together. Please help us retain what we've went over today.
Yes,
Please bless us individually and as a group
yes.
as we return to the places we came from today. Let us get there safely. In your holy name, amen.
Amen.